Deep beneath the frozen shell of Jupiter's moon, something is shifting. A terrifying sound of ice cracking like a gunshot rings out across the silent, airless plains. We are descending 20 kilometers through a wall of solid ice. This isn't just a moon, it is a pressurized, ticking time bomb hiding a dark secret. Everyone thinks Europa is a pure icy jewel, but they are wrong. What lies beneath that crust has no intention of being discovered by curious human visitors. At first glance, Europa looks peaceful. It shines with a brilliant white light, reflecting the distant sun like a polished marble floating in the cold void. But that perfection is a mask. Those deep red scars are not rock. They are chemical stains forced up from an ocean far deeper than our own. Beneath the ice lies an abyss 10 times deeper than the Mariana Trench. When we are not just looking for life here, we are searching for a nightmare. This is a deadly alien ecosystem, a world where the laws of biology are written in the dark, and every shadow could be something that is watching. Europa sits inside a literal hell. Jupiter acts as a massive particle accelerator, whipping lethal radiation around the moon with every single rotation of the planet. Invisible death rains down constantly. The magnetic field of Jupiter sweeps over Europa, creating a radiation belt powerful enough to kill a human in mere minutes. Standing on this surface means your body would be bombarded by millions of high-speed particles. It is a beautiful, glowing landscape that would melt your cells. Even the most advanced spacesuits can only do so much, and the radiation here is so intense it physically shreds your DNA like a million tiny needles. The cold is another monster entirely. At minus 160 degrees, metal becomes as brittle as glass, and air itself would freeze solid instantly. You are caught between a frozen death and an invisible fire. There is no escape from the particles that travel nearly at the speed of light. Every second spent on the surface is a gamble with your life. The radiation is so persistent it passes through almost any shield we can build. This is the radiation hell of the outer solar system, a place where the light is beautiful because it is trying to kill everything it touches. But the real terror is what gravity is doing. Jupiter's massive weight pulls and tugs at Europa like a piece of dough being kneaded by giants, and this tidal flexing creates immense heat. As the moon orbits, it is squeezed and stretched, generating a secret warmth that keeps the hidden ocean from freezing. The friction makes the moon scream. Deep inside, the core is grinding against itself, creating a furnace that fuels the dark, cold world above it. Europa actually sings a haunting song. Spacecraft have recorded eerie sounds coming from the moon, the rhythmic groans of a celestial body that is constantly being broken. It is the sound of a planet trembling. Imagine standing in the dark and hearing the ground beneath you moan with the weight of an entire world. The surface isn't stable. It rises and falls dozens of meters every single day. A rhythmic breathing caused by the relentless gravity of the gas giant. This movement creates a landscape of constant change. Nothing stays still for long on Europa, as the ice is constantly being crushed and reformed by tides. Down in the abyss, the ceiling of ice is a living thing. It groans with the tides, threatening to collapse at any moment into the blackness. In this ocean, there is no sun, there is no day or night, only a permanent, suffocating darkness where the rules of life are completely different. Without photosynthesis, there are no plants as we know them. Life here must survive on chemical reactions, eating the very minerals of the moon itself. The lifeblood of this world comes from hydrothermal vents. These underwater volcanoes provide the only warmth and energy in an otherwise freezing and dead abyss. Evolution has had billions of years to play in the dark. Without light, eyes are useless. The predators here see with sound and electrical pulses, and the hunters of Europa are masters of the silence. They can feel the heartbeat of their prey from kilometers away in the perfectly still cold water. Imagine a world where you are hunted by something you cannot see, something that knows exactly where you are by the electricity in your nerves. These are the monsters of the ice, giant spindly creatures that have adapted to the crushing pressure and the absolute lack of any visible light source. The only beauty in this nightmare is the glow of life, a faint, ghostly bioluminescence that serves as a warning to anything that dares to approach. The surface of Europa is a war zone. We call it chaos terrain, massive blocks of ice the size of cities that have been shattered and frozen. Beneath the solid crust, the ice is soft and moving. In it is a slushy sea where frozen continents collide and grind each other into fine dust. There is no stable ground here. One moment you are on a solid plain, the next, the very world beneath your feet is being crushed. Europa has almost no craters. It is one of the youngest surfaces in the solar system because the moon is constantly self-healing and hiding its scars. The moon swallows its own skin. The old ice sinks into the ocean and new water freezes to create a fresh, deceptive mask of perfect calm. The terrain is a forest of knives. Razor-sharp ice spires rise hundreds of meters into the air, making it impossible for any traditional craft to land. This is a place that rejects visitors. The very landscape is designed to crush, shred, and bury anything that tries to sit still on its surface. The abyss is always hungry. On Europa, and the ground is just a temporary bridge over a deep, dark ocean that is waiting to take it back. Every so often the pressure becomes too much. The moon screams and vomits its ocean into space through massive geysers that dwarf any volcano on Earth. These plumes reach heights that touch the very edge of space. They are the only way we can sample the ocean without ever touching the ice. Then comes the reverse snowfall. The water freezes instantly in the vacuum and falls back to the surface as a fine, radioactive dust of ice crystals. This snow isn't white. It is stained with salts and minerals, coating the moon in a reddish-brown powder that smells of metal and ancient sulfur. If you could taste the surface of Europa, it would be bitter and metallic. It is the taste of a sea that has never seen light, and the ocean below is a brine of acid and salt. It is a harsh chemical soup that has spent billions of years dissolving the moon's rocky core. When the tides are at their peak, the entire moon seems to leak. It is a spectacular and terrifying display of planetary power and internal pressure. For a brief moment, there is beauty in the violence. The plumes sparkle in the dim sunlight, a reminder of the vast water world hidden below. Why haven't we landed yet? Why has humanity stayed at a distance for decades? The answer is a mixture of technical fear and biological ethics. We are terrified of cross-contamination. One single hitchhiking microbe from Earth could trigger a biological catastrophe that wipes out an entire alien evolutionary line. We spend billions of dollars to keep our machines clean. We must be ghosts in this system, watching from the shadows without leaving a footprint. But the fear goes both ways. What if the life on Europa is so aggressive that it could consume Earth's biosphere if it ever got back? The great visionary Arthur C. Clarke once wrote a chilling warning. All these worlds are yours except Europa. Attempt no landing there. His words still haunt the halls of NASA. Is there a reason beyond physics that we are being kept away from this icy, secretive moon? Now we are finally going back. The Europa Clipper is our boldest attempt yet to peer through the ice and see what is really down there. Its sensors will scan the red veins of the moon, looking for the heat of the ocean and the chemical signals of life itself. New radar data suggests a startling possibility, and there may be massive gas pockets, giant underground cathedrals, trapped between the ice and the water. In these buffer zones, life could be even more complex. a world of air and water hidden away from the radiation and the vacuum of space. Imagine biological cities, massive living structures that function as a single organism, housing millions of smaller creatures in a complex alien society. They may have been there for billions of years, building a civilization in the dark while humanity was still learning to walk on two legs. This Louis song, or life core, could be the most important discovery in history. A hidden sanctuary where the universe has been experimenting with consciousness. Everything we know about biology would be redefined. These creatures wouldn't need oxygen or light. They would thrive on the very heat of the moon. Europa could be the true capital of life in our solar system, with an ocean that has more living space than all of Earth combined. We are just the latecomers to a party that has been going on for eons in the dark, cold heart of the Jovian system. The men and women at NASA are sending more than just a probe. They are sending a message from one world of water to another. It is a message in a bottle for the cosmos. On board is a metal plate engraved with the word water in over 100 languages. We are reaching out through the common language of life. Whether we have eyes or sensors, we all know the necessity of the liquid that sustains us. The mission carries a poem, a piece of our soul, into the most hostile environment we have ever dared to explore in the outer system. And we send our words into an ocean that may have no ears to hear them. But the act of sending them is what makes us human. We hope to prove that we are not alone in the darkness, that even in the coldest, most terrifying places, the spark of life exists. Our curiosity is stronger than our fear. We will keep looking, keep dreaming, and keep reaching for the secrets hidden under the ice of Europa. If life exists there, it will change everything. It will mean that the universe is not a desert, but a garden waiting to be found. Home is not just a place with the sun. Home is anywhere life has found a way to survive against the impossible odds of space. The universe is not empty. It is just waiting for us to be brave enough to break the ice and dive into the unknown depths. As we look back at the giant, we realize how small we are, yet our reach extends to the furthest moons of our grand solar system. Would you dare to dive into Europa's ocean? Leave a comment below and subscribe to join our next mission to the rings of Saturn.